Thanks, man.
It's a hell of a workout there, brother.
It's all right. Another
I'm from Detroit, too, man.
Okay.
That ain't but Michigan love right there, brother.
I'm not like no other athlete. I'm the first Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, right.
I'm outspoken.
Right.
I think as I'm outspoken, I'm judged.
Yeah.
But we are judged.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know, I feel that majority of the time somebody see me, they have a thought instantly.
Sure.
I don't know if it's a good thought or a bad thought, but it's a thought.
I'm Michael Eric Dyson. I'm an author and professor of sociology at Georgetown University. I've had the good fortune to sit down and have meaningful conversations with everyone from presidents to hip-hop legends. I now have the opportunity to enter a new arena where I'll be talking to one of the most provocative athletes of our time. He's won world championships in 5 weight classes. Floyd Mayweather. See what he has to say next on Floyd Mayweather Speaking Out. To get to the heart of a man, sometimes you have to go to where he does his best work. In the case of Floyd Mayweather, that would be right here, inside the Mayweather Boxing Club in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the city where Floyd lives, trains, and on May 5th will take on Miguel Cotto and look to improve his record to a perfect 43-0. But there is more to Floyd Mayweather than a pair of boxing gloves. He's one of the sport's biggest box office draws, earning millions of dollars every time he steps into a ring. But with those spoils also comes the difficulty of operating in a world few can understand and even fewer can relate to. Between his wealth, family, career, and an impending jail term, the challenges aren't limited to the ring. Never shy to speak his mind. Floyd Mayweather, thanks for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So May 5th is coming up. It's a big day for you. Tell us how training is going so far.
Training is going like it should go. Mentally, I'm ready. Physically, I'm ready. And everything is playing out the way it should be planned out.
You had a very well-known response in the last Victor Ortiz fight with Larry Merchant.
You were in charge of the fight. You were aggressive and trying and taking advantage of what you saw.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because you never give me a face shake. You know that? So I'm gonna let you talk to Victor Ortiz, all right? I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a face shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit.
Why was this the last straw for you?
Me and HBO had it's been a roller coaster ride as far as our relationship. You got people that is boxing specialists. How can you be a boxing specialist or a boxing commentator if you never fought before? You don't know anything about the sport.
What about if you say, well, a guy has been around the game 50 years, seen hundreds of fighters come and go, never fought himself, but could look at a fighter and discern that this is greatness and this is not?
There's a lot of fighters out there that would do a remarkable job, you know, being commentators. But you got guys that's commentating and supposed to be boxing specialists that never even fought before. You know, I didn't just wake up and just become 42-0.
I want to ask you, how do you remain hungry? I mean, here you are, you're what, 35 years old, you've been in this game for 16 years, and yet you remain at the top of your craft, at the top of the fight game, and you're still hungry.
Is it about the money? Absolutely. Is it about being an all-time the best ever? Absolutely. The difference between me and any other fighter is they're talented. I'm God-gifted. You know, there's a difference. You know, God gives certain individuals gifts, and boxing is one of my gifts. But of course, for Floyd Mayweather, it's more than just nice automobiles, more than just mansions, more than just millions of dollars. It's about giving back. You know, I love to, of course, give back to the less fortunate. Give back to a lot of public schools because that's where I come from. A hard, rough life. Mother on drugs. You know, father, you know, a former drug dealer.
Right.
went to prison.
So your father selling drugs, he says, to support his family, went to jail. Mother, heroin, crack. Your father at one point even held you up as a 1-year-old child as a decoy because he was being threatened by another family member, ended up getting shot. What happened to you? What made you survive?
You know, I stayed with my dad for a certain period of time. Then eventually I moved with my mother to Jersey. There was 7 people staying in a 1-bedroom apartment, no heat. I mean, sometimes no lights. You know, my mother was on crack at one particular time, and eventually, you know, I moved back to Grand Rapids, Michigan with my father. You know, I asked my mother, can she move back also, and she eventually moved back to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I was happy when she moved back, but she was back on drugs. You know, I seen my dad sell my mother drugs. You know, just those are the things that I went through in life. But I'm a strong individual. I can get through anything.
Right.
All it did was make me a stronger person now.
Well, let's talk a bit about that, too, because, you know, you've had difficulties with your father, been very public. 24/7, you know, argument you had with him.
Excitement. You must watch TV.
I'm training camp.
You was undefeated when you started with your daddy.
I started with you, didn't I?
You was training him.
I was training when Roger was down here. You can't train nobody when you're locked up. You can't train nobody when you're locked up. Roger's the one. Roger's my trainer. Roger made.
Ain't nothing wrong with Roger. He made you.
Roger made.
Well, you was right here when I was training you.
This is my trainer right here.
Ain't nothing wrong with you being Roger.
Roger's my trainer. We don't want nobody in the way interfering while we work.
Obviously, the relationship between a father and son is critical. You listen to hip-hop culture, it's all about father absence. Father wasn't there. And being called names, being dismissed because he wasn't there. What effect does that have on a child to deal with father absence?
Well, my dad, I don't want to say my father wasn't there for me, because if I say that, that's absolutely not true.
Okay.
My dad was only there for the boxing gym, to come get me and take me to the boxing gym. But when I think back on it, me and my dad has never been to a movie, just me and him. Me and my dad has never been bowling. Me and my dad has never been to dinner and sit down and talk father and son. Me and my dad relationship has always just been boxing.
Right.
Nothing else, just boxing. If it wasn't about boxing, it wasn't about nothing.
Do you miss the other aspects? Do you miss the intimacy? Going to a movie, hey son, how you doing? I'm proud of you. I mean, do you miss that part?
Well, you know, I try to be outside the box and break the cycle. You know, I go to both of my sons' football games.
Right.
They play basketball. I don't try to force nothing on my children. Boxing was forced on me.
Right. You say you got a God-given gift. They got talent, and yet it was forced on you. Do you think that your father was the instrument of God to make sure that you became a boxer?
My dad did start me off. But it's no hard feelings.
Sure.
No hard feelings at all. Just because we don't see eye to eye and he's stuck in his ways, and he don't want me to love my mother because he feels that I owe everything that I've made, everything that I've done in the sport of boxing. He feels that I owe all the praises to him. And I was trying to enlighten him and let him know he's not God.
Roger Mayweather made the Mayweather name. Roger Mayweather made the Mayweather name, and I took it to the next level. Because when it's all said and done, it's only 2 motherfucking Mayweathers that count. Roger Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather. And motherfucker, I'm not no junior.
I'm where I'm at because my dad, my uncle,
right,
my mother, because I'm inspired every day. You know, when my nieces and my nephews come to the gym, my sons, my daughters, when they come to the gym, it inspired me to make me want to work harder.
Right.
You know, right now, I'm putting in the hard work for my great-grandchildren at this particular time. You know, I've made a lot of money in the sport. I'm comfortable. I'm set for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know, a lot of times people think, well, Floyd Mayweather has a lot of money. There's no problem. There's a lot of problems.
According to the report, an 11-year-old child had to jump over a gate in the backyard and run to the security station in order to protect his mother from what was happening. It is fortunate in this situation that they were able to contact security and gain assistance that evening. Because there were threats to kill her, threats to make her disappear, and things could have gotten even more out of hand than what they did.
You know, we go through a lot, especially myself. I'm judged already because I'm a fighter, so if anything happens, I got to do something with contact or someone getting hit, you know, they're automatically going to say it's him.
I am sad to hear that Mr. Mayweather was raised in a home where there was violence. And I'm sure that that has a good deal to do with how he is today and how he deals with stressful situations.
Can't nothing get to me. You know, even like with my incident coming up in June with me having to do time, I don't worry about that. Come to the territory.
And I hope that a period of counseling will assist him down that road. But I also think a period of time in incarceration will send the right message to the community and to his children that no matter who you are, you will have consequences to your actions that are appropriate when this level of violence is inflicted.
I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King been in jail. I'm pretty sure Malcolm X been in jail. And there's many more that's been in jail. And, you know, you take the good with the good, like I said, and the bad with the bad. It's just an obstacle that's put in your way. I can get through anything. Am I guilty? Absolutely not. You know, I took a plea. You know, sometimes they put us in a no-win situation to where you don't have no choice but to take a plea. I never want to drag my family through the mud. I didn't want to bring my children to court. Never raised my hands to my children. You know, I got 4 beautiful children. I love them dearly. I'm supposed to be going to prison in June. And the only thing I can do is just, you know, keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best and try to stay positive. Can't nothing break me.
Sure.
I'm still going to be strong. If I'm locked up, I'm still going to make sure my mother got the finer things in life. And my sisters, you know, I take care of my whole family.
I think about Jay-Z on 99 Problems when he goes, the cop asks him a question, he says, are you mad at me? Why? Because I'm young, rich, and famous, and I'm black, and you got a problem with that? Do you think people have a real resentment of your success as a black man who's flashy, making it rain, and they look at their own lives and see that they're not doing nearly as well as you? Do you think there's a deep resentment, a racially based resentment against you?
I don't think that no one would ever understand me. You know, no one would ever understand my pain.
Why?
I beat all odds. You know, my dad had just went to prison, and my best friend was like, you know, we talked about getting into the drug game. We talked about it, and I said, yeah, I'm with it. Let's go. We went over to this guy's house.
How old were you then?
I'm gonna say 16. We went over to this guy's house, and something told me no. He said, forget it, I'm gonna do it. So he did it, and he's dead now. Like I said before, people worried about being judged. Who is and who ain't gonna like you. The thing is, as long as you like yourself. It sounds racist, I guess, of this fact. And just because I spoke on a Jeremy-led situation, you know, certain things that I say a lot of NFL and NBA players really want to say. But I don't got no problem with saying it. And last time I checked, I'm my own boss. You know?
Racism is still real in 2012, despite the fact we have a black president. People said we live in a post-racial era. That's pretty much baloney. We know that that's not true. Do you think race shapes the perception of you? You're good-looking, you're a brilliant fighter, you're very articulate and intelligent, and you're rich and you're confident. Some would say even cocky. What do you think about that?
Well, we can touch on this subject in so many different ways. First, we can touch on it as far as me as a person. I'm outspoken.